Today is all about domain registrars. I'm going to show you the ones that I use, I'm going to show you why I use them, and I'm going to show you things I like about them as well as anything I don't like about them. I'm also going to show you some that I've used in the past, some of them that I just honestly would never use but might be forced to use because I win a domain at auction and that's where it ends up. I'm going to tell you why I don't like those registrars as well. Unfortunately for me, I own a lot of domains and I have them in different country codes, and so because of that, there's just not one registrar that works for me. I have to use about 4 of them. But I'll show you why, and maybe you don't have that same scenario. Maybe you can use one and you're lucky, and you would be lucky if you can use one. I would envy you. If I could only use one, I'll show you which one that one is. Anyway, let's get started. So I'm going to start logging us into some registrars, and that way I can show you the things I like about them and dislike. Before I get started, I have switched from using Google as my primary search engine to Bing simply because they pay you to use it essentially. Basically, right now I have 5,026 points, which that will convert to a Amazon gift card for $5. It's not much, but just doing what I would normally do, actually get paid to do it. On to our first one. I'm going to go to GoDaddy first. And GoDaddy has some nice things about them, but they also have some qualms that I wish they would change. Logging in here. So basically, GoDaddy has an interface where it lets you do a few things in mass, but it's really not designed to do major bulk updates. You can do a few. I mean, there are certain things, I could come here and click a few of these and click, if I come up here and I can choose my name servers, I can click custom, I can basically update all of those at the same time. That's helpful, but there's a lot of things where you end up having to go into the individual domain to make the change, and preventing you from being able to do a lot of mass updates. Their search works pretty well. Their filters work pretty well. All in all, their interface is one of the better interfaces. So I primarily use them for 2 reasons. One, I did another video on how I renew my domains, and I use a Chase Ink card, and basically by using that, Chase Ink gives you triple points on certain categories, and communications is one of them. GoDaddy is the only registrar I have found that works and that is actually in that category. So anytime I renew a domain or register a domain, I actually get triple points. The other reason I use them is I use GoDaddy auctions a lot. It's when I first started using GoDaddy auctions, it was a place to find valued domains, and so by finding those valued domains, it let me basically get bargain deals on domains that were expiring through GoDaddy. So there's more people using GoDaddy, so now bargains are fewer than they used to be. However, they still tend to be better bargains than, say, NameJet or SnapNames or one of those. Moving on, going back to our selection here, one of the ones that when I win a domain, a lot of times it will go to Network Solutions. And Network Solutions was the first domain registrar in existence. Domains used to be free to register through an organization called Internet, which was a U.S. government organization, and you could register .com, .net, or .org for free. And this is prior to 1996, I believe. So around 1996, Network Solutions became the domain registrar where you would basically register domains. You basically had to register 2 years at a time, and they were If I can recall, I think it was $70, so it was $35 a year. And on the flip side of that, you didn't pay with a credit card on their site. It kind of predated common e-commerce as we know it. So you would basically register a domain and you would have so many days to pay it, and they would send you a bill in the mail. Then not long after that went up to what I think I recall is $100 for a 2-year registration, so essentially $50 a year. But nevertheless, Network Solutions to this day charges, it's either $35 or $39 a year. So I have a couple of gripes with Network Solutions. One, they're way overpriced. When everybody else in this area, in this arena, is $10 plus or minus to register a domain, and Network Solutions is still in the $35 to $40 range for the same service. Second of all, when you want to transfer a domain away, every other domain registrar that I've dealt with will send you the authorization code for your domain so you can transfer it, typically within minutes of requesting it. Network Solutions basically hold your domain hostage for a few days before they send that, and they ask you a bunch of reasons of why you're leaving. It's very aggravating, and I'll give you a little insight here. We'll log in. So basically, I'm already getting a pop-up that's trying to get me to turn auto renew on, which I won't. I have a couple of domains that I have won at auction, most likely through Namejet or Snap Names, and they've landed at Network Solutions. So as they get closer to expiration, I will move them to a domain registrar that I prefer. But I'll go in here and we'll go ahead and request the authorization key so I can show you this little bit of hostage situation that they do. So down here I have transfer lock is on, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to say, of course they keep asking me, are you sure you want to turn it off? So I do that. Now I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to request the authorization code. Stop, before you transfer your domain to another company, we would like to extend you a special promotion offer to renew your domain. This is a limited time offer, so please act fast to get this renewal rate. I could care less about that. They will offer you a really low rate to get you to stay. And the problem is you'd have to do this every year. It's like dealing with a cable company. You know, it's just not worth it. If they really wanted your business, they would give you the best price all the time. So now they're giving me a warning that my domain is in jeopardy, that by transferring your domain, you assume all responsibility and risk for ensuring you maintain ownership of your domain name. It's almost like it's a scare tactic. So I'm going to click Continue Transfer. Again, I'm basically being asked, what company are you transferring your domain to? I'm going to click Other. And what is the reason? For lower costs. And did you purchase the domain at auction? Yes. Do you have other domains? Yes. 1. Save. Now here we go. Your request for an auth code has been received and information will be validated to ensure the security of your account. If your request is approved, you will receive your auth code by email in 3 days. I have actually had to call them before because in 3 days I haven't got that authorization code, nor have I gotten anything that says that it was declined. Now I can call now and get them to release it, and they will, but it's an aggravation. So why would anybody do business with a company that does business this way? If they would change their ways, they'd probably be a halfway decent company, but those are my big problems with them. Off to the next one. I use EuroDNS for a lot of country code domains because some of the country code domains are not available at other registrars I use, or they're not priced well. And EuroDNS actually has a pretty slick interface. They've done really well, and they have a lot of nice bulk updates. Quite honestly, they are one of the top interfaces. If you need country code domains for Europe, they do them for other parts of the world, but they start getting expensive in other parts. Europe is where they really shine. They are located in Luxembourg. The owner of the company is Xavier Buck, and super nice guy. They are one that I would highly recommend if you, like I said, if you have country code domains, or maybe you're even located in Europe. And one other thing, they offer private registration for $1. And I may be wrong, it may be $2, but nevertheless, it's one of the less expensive places to register domains. So Now I'm going to show you another one, and let's see here. We're going to do, so Dotster I no longer use. Dotster used to be one of my favorite registrars. I stopped using them because they changed their interface. When they changed their interface, my domains, I couldn't renew them. It's like my account was just locked up. And there were others that were having the same problem, and it was very difficult to get somebody to fix them. And I was constantly having to email this one woman who was in customer service, and she was really nice about trying to handle it and everything, but my frustrations were continuing to grow because I was constantly having to contact them to get her to renew those domains. So Domain Central is where you would go to look at your domains. I have no domains here anymore, so my account's totally empty. Their new interface was interesting, definitely better than their old interface, but it still had something left to be desired for me. Domain.com and Dotster.com have the same interface. Then moving on to Moniker. Moniker has a similar story. Moniker was originally founded by a gentleman by the name of Monty Khan. He is very well known in the domain industry. He's a staple of the domain industry. Basically, he created this original interface, not this one, and it was honestly probably the best interface of its time. It rocked while he owned it. He has since sold out. It's been several years now, and a Luxembourg company bought it. As far as I know, they don't have any ties with EuroDNS. It just happens that they are in that small country of Luxembourg together. They are a member of the Key Drive group, which I do believe is Key Systems still. We'll check it out about us. Yeah, Luxembourg-based Key Drive family. I don't have any domains here anymore either. They changed their interface, and again, it was a similar scenario. There were many things that didn't work in the interface, and they literally lost hundreds, maybe thousands of clients during that process. The message boards were just loaded with people having problems. And this was probably the domainer's choice for registrars back in its day. Their new interface actually is not bad. It's just that it didn't work for a good while. And so, again, I have no domains in here, so I can't show you. Moving on, eNom. This is where I pay the most for my domains, and it's not much, but they're 50 cents more. Really, it's more than that because they charge you a credit card fee also. So by the time you pay the credit card fee, I'm actually paying about 75 cents more a domain here. So when you take 75 cents and multiply it by 6,800 domains, you can see that's $5,100 extra a year that I would pay because of that. So because of that, I've been moving my domains away from eNom. I actually love eNom and some of the functions they have. They merged with a company called Bulk Registrar several years ago. eNom was started by Paul Stahura, another great guy in this domain industry, and he now is the CEO of Donuts, which is they're a registry. They're one of the companies that have come out with all these new TLDs that have since came about here in the past couple of years. Basically, if I go into the account, it has fantastic bulk options. And the neat thing about them is Bulk Registrar had a feature called Magic Folders, which when eNom bought them, they basically got the rights to use that. And what Magic Folders are, you can basically assign settings to them. And so I'll show you here. As you can see, purple folders are Magic Folders, yellow folders are standard folders. Just, standard folders are just for organization. Both of them are for organization. The only difference is one, you can apply settings to the folder. So I could actually apply DNS settings. So I'm going to go create a test folder here real quick. And I don't have to create a description. I'm going to click the Create as Magic folder. And now, these are the things that I can update. I can set register lock, auto renew. I can also do DNS server settings. And I can also create host records. So maybe you want a bunch of domains to be parked, maybe with a certain broker or certain parking company, so it displays ads or this domain's for sale. You could literally do that in one fell swoop by just moving the domains to that folder. So this is a super great system. So I can click make this a magic setting. I can choose our servers or custom, and put in whatever I want. So same thing with host records. I could basically go in and create whatever host records I want. Same thing, I can update contact information this way as well. So it's really fantastic in how it works. However, now I'm going to show you my favorite registrar, Uniregistry. Uniregistry is owned by a domainer. He has well over 100,000 domains. So he's built this to basically make it easy for him to manage his own domains. So the beautiful thing of this is, if you notice, it says I have 6,855 domains here, but only 4,144 of them are with Uniregistry. There's 2,711 of them with other registrars. The beautiful thing of this is it lets you track your domains at other registrars. You can also do bulk updates, and the updates are instant. And going back to eNom, when you make a bulk update, it could take anywhere from a minute to maybe, I've had it to take as much as 15 minutes before. Updates on Uniregistry are pretty much instantaneous. So if I change DNS settings, they are literally done in seconds. It is truly a wonderful system. So Uniregistry also has a brokerage service, so you can easily add your domains to their brokerage service. And their brokers are, quite honestly, their brokers are fantastic. They let you see the negotiation process. It's all transparent, so you can actually see them going back and forth with the potential buyer. And of course, the potential buyer doesn't know who you are, because most likely you have private registration, because Uniregistry also gives private registration for free. Their brokers also charge a lesser commission than a lot of the other domain brokers out there. So a great example, we have Afternic and Cedo. Afternic's charging a 20% commission. Uniregistry charges a 15% commission. It's giving you a little bit more of your money. They actually work for it. They don't just deal with landing pages. They get a conversation started with the person, and I've had domains to go for a lot more than I would have thought they would have gone for. They really work the person, so they have a great system for that. They also have subfolders. So their folders aren't magic folders like eNom, but you can still do mass updates with. You can go select everything in a folder. They don't care if you transfer your domain out. They make it easy to do so. They also make it easy to transfer domains in. You can do bulk transfers in, instead of having to deal with a ton of individual emails for the authorization codes. You get them in one email. You also can approve a mass transfer in from another registrar by just approving one email instead of multiple emails. So they've really taken a lot of the pain out of it. And their filtering system is fantastic. These are all the things you can filter on. When's the domain expire? The domain length, does it contain hyphens, numbers, name servers? You can exclude stuff. So this is a compound search. You can add multiples of these to basically filter down to find a particular domain in your portfolio. You can sort different ways. Their trackers, the item I was talking about where you can add domains from other registrars, and they'll just add them to your list. Basically just makes it so that you have one central place to look for them. You can also do simple searches for your domains. This is a feature that I actually really like. You can view as much as 10,000 domains on a page. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Uniregistry, eNom is, it's either 200 or 250 is the max. So to do 10,000 on a page is phenomenal. Anyhow, I hope this was an eye-opener for you. I hope that maybe some of the things I've talked about will help you pick a registrar. Thanks for watching.